Of us, welcome to this our community, the Food Pond, where we discuss on issue of food safety, contaminants, food additives, nutrition, anything that has to do with food and our well-being. How was the Christmas holiday? We want to wish each and every one of us a prosperous new year, this 2025. At this time, I'd like to seize the opportunity to thank each and every one of us for the contribution on those past episodes in the year 2024. And I still look forward as we all continue to deliberate, to contribute, to make comments even to this channel for new viewers, and we look forward to your not only just being an occasional viewer but subscriber. Please, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, comment, share and like. Today we are going to continue from where we stopped last year. The mineral we'll be talking about today, we want to know what are the sources, why do we need it, what is it about that particular mineral, what is the implication if we do not have enough of this particular mineral, and are there hindrances to the absorption or the bioavailability of this particular mineral in improving our health. The mineral we'll be talking about is iron. Iron is so much abundant in nature. It is a trace element that will need only little quantity for our physiological well-being. Iron is part of the hemoglobin in our blood, and hemoglobin is a type of protein in our blood. Iron is needed in synthesizing DNA. Iron is needed in transporting oxygen from our lungs to every part of our body. We breathe in oxygen, and for that oxygen to act from our lungs, iron is needed. Then what are the sources of the iron? Basically, for us to remember, iron is more from protein-rich food. We get it from animal and plant. However, we get more from animal sources. Animal sources like your meat, your poultry, your chicken, your fish, seafood. From plants, we get it from cereals, we get it from your legumes, you get it from your seeds, you get it from nuts. You also get iron from fortified foods. Iron, as we have said, is now classified into two forms and is based on the sources of iron, and that has to do with the hemi iron and non-hemi iron. What do we mean by hemi iron? Hemi iron is iron that is from animal sources, while the non-hemi iron is from the plant sources. Iron level in animal sources could reach up to 55%. For the hemi iron, you could get about 40%, while for the non-hemi, you get between 2 to 20%. Some of the hindrances to the bioavailability of iron in our food are: one has to do with the type of food. The second has to do with health challenges, while the third has to do with our lifestyle. From plant source, the level of iron is very low. And one of the reasons is plant sources like our cereals, the legumes, like I've said, which are your groundnuts, your soya bean, your maize, your millet, your sorghum, grains like that. Even some of our nuts. They contain a particular chemical that now serves as barrier for iron absorption, and that is called phytic acid, or even cooking method for plant sources could help in absorption, assimilation, bioavailability of iron from these plant sources. And Some of the cooking methods are grinding or removing of the tester, like say like the soya bean, like your beans, cooking at high temperature, things like that could help to reduce it. Another thing is there are some other chemicals in some other things, plant products that we consume, and these are called the polyphenols. Like when you're taking your protein food, as much as possible, try to minimize drinking tea, cocoa, coffee, because they contain these polyphenols. So we are advised to drink our tea, our coffee in between meals so that it will not interrupt with the absorption of iron. Another thing is the calcium in dairy products. Calcium binds with iron. Another chemical in plant products is called oxalate or oxalic acid. And you find this in beetroot. There is this assumption by some people that by taking beetroot, they're likely to have iron because of the color of beetroot. But this is in the contrary. Rather, the oxalate binds with the iron, making it not to be bioavailable into our body. You find oxalate also in a lot of vegetables. Let's take hindrances based on health issues. People with what we call IBS, intestinal bowel syndrome, people having challenges with their intestine, medical complications, it's shown that they have poor absorption of iron. Why? Because iron absorption takes place in our intestine. Thereby, this interrupts with the bioavailability of iron after eating iron-based food. Another one is people on medications for the treatment of stomach or intestinal health issues, like people taking proton pump inhibitors like omeprazole, esomeprazole, series like that. People that take a lot of antacids, like your Miss-Mag, like your polycrot gel, the absorption of iron from the intestine will be very low. We also have people that take what we call the HB blockers, like Zantac. In other words, medications that are used in treating intestinal disorders. Looking at lifestyle, issues with stress. When someone is stressed, it becomes a problem. It blocks iron absorption. In addition, smokers have poor bioavailability of iron. Then there's one other one that cannot be controlled by anybody, and that is the process of aging. The older you get, the lesser the absorption and bioavailability of iron. The symptoms of someone with low iron: 1, general weakness, little physical exercise resulting in heart palpitation. People could also go pallor, that is what we refer to as being pale, which you could see from the eyes, from the fingers, from the palm. Another thing is, there is a particular one that has to do with the hair, and it's called tinnitus, where inside the ear you hear ringing sound without any external sound. Another one is continuous muscle pull. Easily feeling cold is associated with lack, inadequacy, or iron deficiency. And the popular one that most of us may be conversant with is what is called iron deficiency anemia. And when people have iron deficiency anemia, they are prone to a lot of infections or diseases, mostly in the sub-Saharan, like malaria. Lack of iron could also result in death. And that takes us to who are the people that are likely to be short of iron. People that do not consume iron-rich food. You have children that are not properly fed. You have nursing mothers. You have pregnant women. Why? Because they have the fetus at that stage. They need much blood. You find women that are still menstruating. In what way can we help ourselves? Consuming vitamin C with iron helps in the absorption of iron. However, that consumption of vitamin C as a supplement or vitamin C rich food should be within 4 hours of consuming a protein food. Another opinion is that vitamin A also helps in absorption of iron. What should be the level of iron that you should consume per day? It is believed that maybe for men should be between 7 to 80 milligrams per day, while for the women maximally should be 25 milligrams per day. The result of overdose is could lead to heart failure. It could lead to some of these developing terminal sicknesses. Finally, it could lead to high ferritin, which is evidenced by people with continuous cold hands. If at any time, even in the hot sun, everything, their hands will be cold. As a recap, we've learned what iron is a trace essential micronutrient that is needed. We've learned about the sources of iron. We've seen the hindrances to iron bioavailability, absorption into our body, even when we have it. When we consume it, we have enough, we think. And we've learned that there could be overdose because iron cannot be excreted. Please let me repeat this again. Iron cannot be excreted. The little is, which is not so much, maybe through sweat. And we've learned today what we can do to increase iron absorption, whereby we will not lack iron, will not be having situation generally known as iron deficiency anemia, and to prevent issue of death that may arise from iron inadequacy. At this point, I still plead with viewers to please subscribe to this channel. For the experts in this community, please, I'd like to share your experience too and propose ways by which we can go further. Don't stop sharing, don't stop subscribing, and don't stop making a comment. Bye, and God bless you for listening.